Gucci is a rare animal. It must be protected.
Protected from whom?
I turned it into an empire.
At least it's my name.
Our name.
Gucci is one of the most popular fashion brands, worth $22.6 billion. But war begins as a rags to riches story of a modest family business and becomes a dark, terrible tale of betrayal. Family feuds, lawsuits, attempted business takeovers, and murder were common in the fashion sector. Sit back and enjoy this video on Gucci's crazy and turbulent history. Florence-born Guccio Gucci worked in his parents' straw hat shop. When he was 18, Gucci's family business collapsed, leaving him impoverished. Gucci moved to London for work at the Savoy Hotel. He saw wealthy hotel guests wearing leather and carrying expensive bags. More than utility, fashion signified class. He later worked for Wagenlitz, a train business where he spent more time helping travelers with their luggage and saw fancy suitcases and purses. Gucci understood that if he opened a leather business for high-end customers like these, he could become very wealthy. He also realized it would take years of hard labor, learning about the leather industry, and saving money before he could go solo. After World War I, Gucci worked in a leather business to gain expertise, but he never lost sight of his goal. By 1921, Gucci had saved and learned enough to operate a small shop in Florence. Gucci began as a leather goods store. Gucci first imported leather items, but he received more requests for handmade, custom-designed handbags and shoes. Since his suppliers rarely had the designs his wealthy customers desired, he learned what they wanted. To fulfill demand, he opened a workshop and hired several people. He immediately over-leveraged and went into debt. He often informed everyone who would listen about his financial struggles. He borrowed from his son-in-law to continue the firm. He intended his three sons, Aldo, Rodolfo, and Vasco, to take over the firm when he got older. Gucci wasn't special yet. It was one modest store. Gucci's three kids had grandiose ambitions to change that. Gucci was satisfied with his leather goods business, but his sons wanted more. They urged their father to create a second Rome shop. They convinced him to open a second shop because soldiers wanted to buy gifts for their wives and girlfriends back home. Gucci opened a third Milan outlet in the 1950s. Aldo, Rodolfo, and Vasco traveled to New York City in 1953 to locate their first American store. After launching the New York store, Gucci died of a heart attack. Gucci gave his three sons the firm but excluded his daughter, Alda. Alda lost in court against her brothers. Gucci left the daughter nothing. The family's legal drama began despite her husband's loan keeping the company running. Gucci needed U.S. expansion. NYC's first luxury Italian brand, Hollywood celebrities embraced the company. Naturally, people wanted to dress like their favorite movie stars, which increased Gucci's sales. For a while, the three brothers operated the company smoothly. Vasco died in 1974, leaving his shares to his wife. Aldo and Rodolfo bought her shares, giving the two brothers 50% of the company. The brothers opened Hong Kong's first Gucci flagship that year. Gucci was one of the first brands to focus on Asian expansion, and it paid off big. In 1975, they launched a fragrance line and added additional Gucci goods. It went beyond leather luggage. Gucci sold purses, shoes, belts, wallets, and more worldwide. However, Gucci was still a family-owned firm. According to an old Italian proverb, family enterprises are built, expanded, and destroyed by successive generations. Aldo Gucci granted his three sons, Giorgio, Roberto, and Paolo, a minor portion of the company. Rodolfo Gucci refused to give any shares to his only son, Maurizio. Therefore, the Gucci family lived in turmoil. The relatives battled for Gucci control. Aldo and Rodolfo, the second-generation brothers, transformed the company into a global success. But they were getting older and arguing over who should lead Gucci after they died. Maurizio married gold digger Patrizia Reggiani in 1972, intensifying things. She stated it's better to cry in a Rolls-Royce than be joyful on a bicycle. For sure, socialite Patrizio loved wearing Gucci to parties. The backstage. She pressured Maurizio to become Gucci CEO. She attributed the brand's success to herself. Patrizio was domineering and solely played the Gucci family drama role. Rudolfo hated his son's marriage, calling Patrizia a money-driven social climber. Maurizio loved her and disregarded his father's advice. He and Patrizia had 2 daughters. Maurizio eventually regretted not listening to his father. Maurizio marrying Patrizia against his father's wishes only strained their relationship. While alive, Rudolfo refused to give his son Gucci shares. Since he died without a spouse or children, Maurizio received his full 50% of the company. Maurizio had 50% of Gucci overnight. However, he and his cousins still fought over business strategy. The third generation has different company goals. Gucci was licensing their brand to department stores at this stage, making a lot of money. Maurizio said it devalued the brand because it was no longer exclusive to the rich and famous. Worse, counterfeit Gucci classics were peddled on street corners everywhere. Maurizio wants the brand to be exclusive again. He halted licensing, costing Gucci over $100 million in sales. Initially, it was a bad concept, but many believe it saved the company. Gucci became exclusive. It became a legacy brand by returning to elite exclusivity. Maurizio's cousin Paolo felt mistreated by his father, Aldo, for being granted a minor interest in the company with little duty. He wanted to make Gucci clothes. The family didn't trust his taste. The Gucci family agreed on one thing: Paolo's designs were bad. Paolo was furious and reported his 81-year-old father Aldo for tax cheating. Aldo was imprisoned for 366 days for trying to become famous. Paolo then launched Paolo Gucci. Paolo spent $8 million suing Gucci to use his name on his fashion line, despite the family's concerns that he would ruin the Gucci brand. His huge goals failed. Sales did not cover his debt. According to his daughter, Gucci bought Paolo Gucci's rights and made his line disappear. Even his daughter said Paolo's first pieces were unattractive. The Gucci family was often in the news due to lawsuits and family strife. Maurizio wants investors to cut out the family and take control. Investcorp contributed. This was Investcorp's first luxury fashion brand investment. Paolo, the family outcast, owned 3.3% of Gucci by this point. Paolo sold Gucci to Investcorp for $40 million in 1988. He wasted it. He wasted money. PAO entered bankruptcy in 1993, owing over $90 million. Maurizio eventually convinced the Gucci family to sell their shares to Investcorp. Despite owning 50% of Gucci, this business let Maurizio run the company and make all the key decisions. Like Maurizio, he appointed Dawn Mello Gucci's executive vice president and head designer in 1989. She intended to boost brand exclusivity. She proposed reducing the number of stores from 1,000 to 180 of their most profitable. Gucci sold 7,000 pieces instead of 22,002. Mello revived bestsellers like the bamboo bag and Gucci loafers. Gucci was Maurizio's dream. After the family left, he opened a lavish Milan boutique. In addition, he wanted all new goods to replace their inventory, which put the company in tremendous debt. Maurizio wants Gucci's accessories line gone. It was one of their most profitable lines of money, making it contentious. Wallets, sunglasses, and belts may be affordable for the common person. Without accessories, the brand was just for the wealthy, as Maurizio wished. However, business-wise, it was dangerous. Maurizio also wanted to remove the GG logo, which was a huge error. Their famous trademark accounted for 70% of sales. Maurizio's adjustments cost Gucci money. They lost $30 million annually. Gucci couldn't afford salaries or suppliers. The corporation was near insolvency, or Maurizio's huge vision. Investcorp was worried. They proposed a new Gucci CEO to Maurizio because their investment was losing millions. Not popular, Maurizio clung to power. He begged them to wait 6 months before buying again. However, Investcorp persisted. They bought 50% of Maurizio's company for $150 million in 1993. 6 months later, the brand's fate changed as Maurizio predicted. Gucci earnings returned when Japanese shoppers bought bags. Some of Maurizio's choices were bad, but others were great. Helping Gucci become a luxury brand again, too late. After Maurizio was bought out, Gucci had no family members for the first time. 2 years later, Gucci died. Maurizio divorced Patrizia in 1994 after years of fighting. Pina Patrizia was sadder over losing Gucci than her spouse, according to her friend. However, Patrizia stalked Maurizio and left him threatening voicemails. Patrizia blocked his new relationship with Paula. She worried that if he married Paula and established a new family, she and her daughters would lose the money from Maurizio, which was the only thing sustaining their extravagant lifestyle, which she craved. In 1995, Maurizio was walking to his workplace when a shooter appeared. 3 headshots were fired in daylight. Police questioned all suspects. Given the family strife, Maurizio had many adversaries, but the case stalled for 2 years. Patrizia was finally investigated after an anonymous tip. Patrizia traveled about town asking practically everyone how she could kill her ex-husband. She asked her lawyer how to avoid jail time. She'd hide a hitman with Pina's help. She wore Gucci during the murder trial. The hitman got life and Patrizia Reggiani 29 years. Patrizia served 18 years, but she could have been released sooner if she had accepted to work release. She declined, claiming, "I've never worked and won't now." Gucci revived after Maurizio Gucci's murder. After hiring Tom Ford as creative director, he brought back the classic Gucci logo and started designing collections for a younger generation. Ford and Domenico Di Sole, known as the Tom Dom Bomb era, helped turn Gucci's fortunes around. Sales nearly doubled from $263 million to $500 million in 1995 to 1996. After the Gucci family left, things improved. Investcorp rapidly capitalized. Thus, Gucci went public, and the IPO was a huge success. Investcorp sold their firm shares for $2 billion. Due to a Japanese luxury market crisis in 1997, Gucci shares plummeted, forcing them to leave. LVMH bought Gucci shares at a bargain after this price drop. Bernard Arnault, LVMH's CEO, assured the media that this was a favorable acquisition. Bernard was known as the Cashmere Wolf and had taken over several luxury apparel firms. The Gucci CEO was concerned, so he turned to an investor to help raise more money so Gucci could start acquiring as many up-and-coming fashion firms as possible to compete with LVMH instead of being taken over by them. Kering, the Gucci company, owns Balenciaga and other fashion businesses today. Alexander McQueen. The Tom Dom pair left the company in 2004. Gucci's popularity has grown with each generation. Gucci has 500 outlets and 50 million Instagram followers. Gucci's accessories collection has returned to a sweet spot where it's affordable for most people, but still beautiful and exclusive. The lavish house of Gucci film also elevated the brand. The Gucci family was unhappy with its portrayal in recent years. It wasn't entirely correct, since the Gucci family no longer runs the firm. The movie may have increased sales. I think we're done here for the day. If you liked the video, subscribe to BizVentures and press the bell icon.